Brothers and sisters for Amba land, my country people them. When I welcome you for Amba History, we just come over here how we president don't talk. Very historic talk. Very historic talk because this talk we talk today could go down for all books them. All my way, you know, say it could write history or it could write history in future. We say we people like another Amba History for the future, they go talk about that talk we don't talk today. So because that talk a very, very important talk if you look at for the context. Our country, this country will be, they don't kill people enough for 1 year, world cover eye, the middle of the year. Then the man where they find Palava, come be a face. He woke up, go for Abidjan. No, that's that picture. No, go for Abidjan. If you don't for you want for office, other president workers on the salon, other one them. Yeah, he just shouldn't eat the entire face because no man is taking serious. Yeah, it's saying since now he be the oldest president. Once the way they for the Oma come out, the welcome is say Mbiang don't come, Bia don't come. He go discover say he's a useless man. He come for house. He vex. Don't look now say now we be problem. Caution. They he don't understand now. Then now all down don't complete. Say what's that thing that happened? We will see. We for Amba History. Today I deal with my brother. UK from Zurich. People go tell when I say this, so that can't talk we don't do before. We know the change history. Or when you used to take a course to go. Just course like we own for Amba land. No matter the kind of people that talk, you know, change anything. They can't die go. I remember because I don't really see how Amba begin to go sing song say, sometime be there, some man be there, where name be na popol. Where he thinks say he want to try for people down, but inside na he net brain. But you know, that history was asking a small time. But before I continue, I say for instance, we'll go over to Uncle P. Nanoi. Uncle P will tell you today how that time for we own country where Amba land be at least begin your own autonomy. How education be there for our side. When another famous school they come and say Umbe Technical School. That school where any might go, they come out. The handwork we learn for there. If you come up with a society, know how to use them. Uncle Pina, we brought away, he go through that school. Today he go tell you how that history for Umbe Day and how we go with society really need that kind of school back. Welcome for Amba History.
Good evening, my brothers. Then before I want to go start talk about Amba Trade Center. We call another name Amba Trade Center. But before I want to go start talk about that one. I first give some comment. The president speech we will make an article airport. You see our president next speech today. You see, he not read that speech on no place, and the speech be over 20 minutes. But look, President for the Republic, 2 minutes speech. He didn't read them. That one tell you now waiting. Say, no be he talk. The other person they talk. So we neighboring country get person where she don't go there where it will be like dog blind. And people they talk for you. When I see how you read them now, that will be out of my talk where one will talk, but nothing I come and I make them. So you don't go she don't go there. He come back, the read you don't present Miami read. I don't know what is happening in my own country. I'll be very sorry. Okay. Me, I be ex-Omber. It first way there for my age. That time we do all the same enter with technical school only because of the name Omber. But I talk about technical education in general. The reason why the Frenchman he decided to break down our technical education. That because as they get rid of our industries, they will fear say if we still continue to be technically able, we will rapidly build back our industry. Okay. In our days, if we want to go on by you merit the entrance, you get the right to go enter technical institution. You know they go bribe. We get some man by the principal in my first years, Mr. F.R.A. He said, even if you have come to take bribe, I will take that good time on my side. But the first step is fair. I will send it back for house to your part. That's it be there. Play no be there. Play no be there. Come back now for the practical part of it. Yeah. When you become a technical school, you will be able to do something. The first year they will give you an orientation of all the trades then. And even you go through that trade just in a few months, you don't let the thing wait if you keep your oil alive. Today they do welding, or they do construction. Today they do some other things, or they my few have been finally specialized on being a construction. Okay. As we talk, people they don't know about Cameroon say, Cas Bambili, they been a technical university where our late pa, Jongu Poncha, we go campaign, get them from outside. Me they can build them for we. It will be the first technical English educational university for Cameroon. But what will happen? I need to completely block them. But John Gufont are not knowing the fact say they don't get their plans for assimilate completely. You know, we know they don't already get plans to really completely wipe out our industry. If fight today passes, they build that university. As the construction will finish, it last leave them now. Me they use them for waiting. We not like that family. Be a technical education, technical university that. You see that why the way we will not get English technical university for Cameroon when a government on Now years after we will get to like Upam or Babenda, the big command, they can build a polytech. Where they really have plenty and now when they go polytechnic for Bambui, you see. Okay. As they will do so, which I witnessed as a young student in those days, I say, for my first year, when I mix them with the graduate, we will get plenty motor the way they start to get. Even as we talk now, so our SP in that year, it is still perfected. So back to the common Douala, can't stand for gate. As you come back with your trunk, so they just show you enter the motor. They don't already find out all that graduate student there. They don't already get the employment of Douala. Now the first thing they start to do it don't be strange. They say most people that go to Douala will find work. That's why they start doing in those days. They can't take our able technicians then. Plan Douala. As they do so, they break our industry gradually. Now we will find ourselves today. So, all we Southern Cameroon will not say the first thing we will do when we don't finally restore our nation, now to revive our technical education, so that it begin the live with citizens of London or the certificate who don't put that in place, the begin will be able after the 4 years for the first cycle, but you will be able to be self-sufficient. Because if you train the technician and say me go out and be self-sufficient, me go out and build a nation. But today we'll get people that come out in gas way, they don't hold even a tool to use them. And how much that this people reduce weight. So immediately we take our nation, we'll reinstate all the things so that even right from primary school, we'll start teach beginner. Okay, go back. I still know one part today. If you are a man, I don't ever forget it. My first carpentry thing was brilliant, the primary school system. So we get to start all this thing again for build every person, whether you know how to do education after that, you know how to use the basic tools there. So that if you want to go through general education, it will be your decision. So that any Southern Cameroonian will be able to sustain the life with the own hands. When I hear that talk, yes. You brother really listen to this one. So that all Southern Cameroonians will be able to sustain the life, so that no man will go poor. And if we make us so, say all man be able to do something. Even we will include things like farming inside technical education. Because up to now, so that each person will come out for technical school, where he do the farming section, he will be able to cultivate either normal crops or even right up to livestock, where it will be very good for the community where they live. And what we do so will be all round, not to know the chest of beginner to come out and go die for desert. Because we try to kill our people for desert. Now just that lack of occupation with no perspective. God will not give them anything. Even the one that even the one that come up thinking education is supposed to be self-sufficient, they never root for wrong country to come out past through desert or reach Europe. And now one bad thing that you see, we get to think about all these things then. See how much you don't bring weight down. Other things will be the one that they come out where they do things like Peter Mechanic. They will work for Guinness for Limber. But they sweep out all the things. Guinness Cameroon because they have a Limber. For my second year, and nobody will come and go work for Guinness or Limber. But after everything, like the public sweep all the industries then. And as we saw, make our people a big force will go into Royal Exodus. They will come on and run owner for their site. As they go, as soon as they take our place. Even motor mechanics, they will come out go work for CVC. They will come out today without being able to work for a garage because they don't still get that skill that they be given in those days. And then the other last thing, now the way they scramble our workshops them. When I be there on my class, we still get a laboratory, we do normal civil engineering tests. But immediately as the Francophone come, all those will be wiped away. Carpentry machines will be stolen away. When remember in those days, if you drive from Boya to Limbe, we don't reach approaching them. More like carpentry machines, all that they don't still there, they don't go on, they don't carry all go. All. An Englishman, they get one strength. If you do something that make the country big, you do something that will feed the pocket. So as they can spoil the system, carry out everything. You begin to come out technical high school. I beg your pardon. Even lay a block of wall. Build a chair. If you do carpentry engineering, build a chair with you on top. So one of them even repair one car. But when in our days, we come away with completely trained. Even you go high school, you go now for your unlikeness now.
So, people are saying we'll make Allah.
Advanced and intermediate level. What do in those days for Amba? And we do on our first cycle. Amba never get high school in those days. We do advanced level and intermediate level inside Amba. Which way Twenty-Man can do now say they can't stop all the exams because they will see the practicals may be too hard for their beginner. So when they try to do it, but they never ever pass the practicals. Now why that way they decide to wipe City and Guilds of London away. The first way we cap. For my cap year, we take class about 67. Now only about 13 begin the pass cap. Not because they don't, but because in these beginning phases of the assimilation, the question will be all written in French and then translated in a very poor English language. Well, I tell you now, it frustrates a lot of our colleagues there. I get one classmate today for UK. We can finally be a professor for European law. I don't do other things there. Just because this a very intelligent boy, very intelligent. After we don't go high school, he write over the first time. After he write back, he just say no. I will not continue with this school in Nigeria. Do advanced level. When it's like I'm why they write back. From there now, he go UK. He studied for UK. Professor for European law. And then he do management as well. Like the position that they do it. If you break a country, if you break a nation, technically, you don't really kill them completely. But we get one lucky thing. I said our parents they never sleep. They continue to push we. Now why don't we get engineers everywhere for the war? We get technicians everywhere for the war. They push with the support way. I think when I'm plenty. Yeah.
Uncle P, I don't say option no go because we need for more of that talents them. Yeah, you know the only you don't for Amba History, not just for telling about history, but also for giving us more juice. What they call it juice.
Yes. Yeah. Along the line we'll do that one.
I was just telling Amba Landers. I mean, no matter how anyone go take a juice. Then can she down. Then Uncle P will give you juice. Then we'll give the drink. Okay. Yes, okay, are you ready?
Yeah, actually, I am.
Where were we? We were now, I don't know, you remember, we were still talking about all those goodies around the 59s and so.
Yeah, I remember very well. It's just it's a good thing that Uncle P has actually taken a deviation and kind of like losing the tension a little bit. It's important sometimes when we go into those specifics before going back to the books.
You're right.
Yes, so... actually, last time we ended just exactly at the point where La Republique was going to be granted independence. That was approaching 1960, after they had handpicked the future President Amadou Ahidjo, who had apparently sold the country through certain transactions and agreements that he had signed with the French colonial agents.
Okay.
So now all the ground was prepared for Ahidjo actually to be the next strong man for La République du Cameroon. So he became the first president when La République became independence on the 1st of January 1960. And you see, don't forget, La République, or that part of Cameroon that became La République, was the bigger part of all the other components of Cameroon. That means northern Cameroon, southern Cameroon, the part that went back to Chad, to Congo, to Gabon. Those parts were not actually in question. The biggest question now was actually the part that had seceded to the English colony, which was Nigeria. So if you look at the Cameroon history, we hardly talk about those parts that had been that went back to Chad, Congo, Central Africa, or Gabon, because it was all controlled by the French. So it's actually not an issue to discuss. So the discussion has always been the decision that was taken by the northern Cameroonians and the southern Cameroonians. So Ahidjo himself was expecting the northern Cameroonians through their own plebiscite.
You mean the British Northern Cameroonians?
Yes.
British Northern Cameroonians.
Yes. It's something
very important that will make the difference.
Yeah, for sure. I beg your pardon. What I'm just trying to say is like...
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. If they are claiming that we are one individual, why can't they go back there to take back all those territories? The one which was in the northern part of Nigeria, and the one which went to Chad, the one which went to Central African Republic, and all over. Because Cameroon, as we know it today, was not like that. It was very... Why can't they go back and claim that we are one individual?
That's my little point here. I want to clarify that point. You see, because if you look at Uncle P, giving reference to your question, it just means you're looking now at Cameroon before 1914, which was a German Cameroon, and the German Cameroon was quite a big country compared to what it is today. And as you said, there were parts of German Cameroon that now belong to Chad, to Central African Republic, to Congo, and to Gabon. It's only Equatorial Guinea which was not touched because it was a Spanish colony. So now the matter is, don't forget that all these French colonies, Congo, Gabon, Central Africa, Chad, they're all French property. So it has never really appeared in the history. It's nobody's business.
Exactly.
You see, so now the only part that had the chance to make a decision was the British Northern Cameroons and the British Southern Cameroons. And the British Northern Cameroons in June 1960, 1st of June 1960, they had their chance to in a separate plebiscite to join Nigeria, which they unanimously voted to join Nigeria. Not because they love Nigeria. We have to look at this aspect right now. Don't forget that Amadou Ahidjo had already been the president of La République. And the guy who had the power to join, to rally his people to join Nigeria instead of joining Cameroon from the British Northern Cameroons was also a Hausa guy.
Yes.
If you look at it very well, he would have actually looked at that solidarity and said, let me join my brother in Cameroon. But he
knew Ahidjo already.
Yeah.
He must have known Ahidjo already.
Exactly. So the thing is, he preferred to join the English Hausas than join the French Hausas.
Yes.
You see, and the fact that he had a position in Kaduna also helped him to actually rally his people to join Nigeria, just as much as Foncha and Endeli, they had their places in Enugu. So it's actually a kind of mirror situation. So now going back to Southern Cameroons, that was June 1960. The Northern Cameroons now had their plebiscite to join Nigeria, and they did. 8 months later, 11th of February 1961, that very famous date, it was a plebiscite day for British Southern Cameroons. And as bad as it is also called the Empire Day, which is actually the birthday of the Queen of England.
Okay.
Yes. 11th February actually is the birthday of the Queen of England.
That day was widely celebrated in Southern Cameroon in those days.
Exactly.
Empire Day.
What we were doing in Southern Cameroons, we're actually celebrating the birthday of England. That's what we're doing.
I used to eat kokikon and this thing and ice. This ice, my first time to eat ice.
And ginger. Ginger.
Okay. Now, that was 1961. So we're now fast forwarding 2 months later in April, that famous United Nations Resolution 1608, which we're talking about today.
21st of April.
Yes, which was now to determine the fate of the Southern Cameroons.
Mm-hmm.
So things were really hot now because there was a lot of confusion. So they had 2 months later now, June, the so-called Bamenda Conference, which was actually a proposal of how the Federal Republic was going to be. Like the arrangements of how the Federal Republic, the Federal Constitution was going to be to guide English and French Cameroon together. That was in the Bamenda Conference. So in the same year, it happened that they had now to go to Fumban Conference, the famous Fumban Conference that we hear about. And in the Fumban Conference, almost all the resolutions that were accepted in the Bamenda Conference were refused. And the only one that was adopted was the House of Chiefs. So if you look at that equation there, you realize that La République twisted Southern Cameroons in this discussion because they realized that the only thing that they need in Southern Cameroons was to have a control over the House of Chiefs. Because the House of Chiefs were run by the Fons and the kings and the chiefs and everything, and people still adhered to their ethnic groups. They didn't have any national feeling so far. Mm-hmm. And we still know that till today, in every part of Cameroon, people still believe in their chiefs more than the governors.
Yes.
You see, so that's the only part that was accepted from the Bamenda Conference and the Fumban Conference, which even made Augustin Ngomjua to lament, because the Fumban Conference was more a kind of a banquet than any real thing. Because when Haijo came there, they had already prepared their constitution and they adopted only the House of Chiefs and discarded everything else.
Yes, I read the comments of his the retired the cardinal of the Douala, who said that our guys went there and were merrymaking. They had some wine, some fine wine, and they're going to job life.
Yeah, the Southern Cameroonian politicians, a part of one or two like Endeli and Joa, they were the rest were very naive people. And Foncha was playing a very double game. I mean, he had to adhere to certain people who had actually financed his KNDP before. See, so that was the case, that the manipulative factor came in when everything from the Bamenda Conference was actually discarded. Only the House of Chiefs was accepted into the new constitution, which was nothing but La République's constitution that was already prepared.
But now, if I understand it very well, Foncha still did not sign that agreement with the Republic.
They didn't sign that agreement. It wasn't signed. And that is the turning point of our struggle today. That is what we have held, because it's like there's no binding contract.
So can we say that Foncha double-crossed his double-crossers?
We don't know if he double-crossed. Maybe actually he knew that there was something wrong, but he was maybe naive to actually have the courage to ask. And secondly, the other ones thought that, okay, maybe the guys don't really care. We're just going to do it our way. I mean, we have the majority. Very soon we're going to assimilate them. So I think it was both miscalculations of both sides.
Because as I understand, everywhere you go, wherever you read it about it, they say that Foncha and his guys did not sign that Fumban thing. Ahijo had come in asking them to sign it, and they refused to sign on the pretext that they had no mandate from the West Cameroon, from the Southern Cameroon Parliament.
Yeah.
So they were parliamentarians. So they means that they were respecting the law.
Yeah, they did.
So now you cannot. Let me put it this way: seeing the results of what happened, I would say that they behaved in a Jackery way, but in a statement way.
Yes, it was actually you see, I call it a very ambiguous move, because shortly after those things, La République started misbehaving, and if actually Foncha was sure of what they had done, if it was well planned, they would have started criticizing it since in the 1962, 63, 64. But they didn't do anything till 1972 caught us again.
But and you remember, Foncha lost the elections in 67. Was it 67?
That's the election. That has got nothing to do with the constitution. That's something else.
No, but that government had been existent under the pretext of that constitution since 1961.
Yes, but don't forget, you see, we are still dealing also with if you look at it very well, it's just that we don't talk about these things. The British had actually indirectly sold British Southern Cameroons to La République and France. So they knew that they had actually an edge over the Southern Cameroonians in every respect and aspect. So they could change everything. It didn't really matter. They could actually postpone agreements, arrangements. It didn't really matter. That's why, as I said again, if Foncha was very resolute of what they had done in Fumban, all along the line before 1972, he would have met those who had won him in elections and say, hey, listen, there's that point in Fumban that is still not clear. Can't we go back to that thing? Nobody bothered about that thing.
No, but 1972 was Muna, because Jua took PM Jua took over from Foncha.
Exactly.
Because the PM Jua and Professor Fonlon. I remember that one of the earliest critics of that agreement with the Francophone people who was Professor Fonlon, who had written a letter to Ahidjo complaining about the faultiness of the agreement between the Anglophones and the Francophones. And Ahidjo had already marked Fonlon as a dangerous guy.
For sure.
So Fonlon was a minister of, I think he was either a minister in Foncha's government or he was one of the early ministers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And he had been bringing out this point. And Foncha got voted out of office in 1967 and defeated by Jua because of the fact that it had become clear to the majority of Southern Cameroonians that we had been duped.
Yes, exactly.
That's why they removed him. And Jua was more energetic. He was a more patriotic guy. Let me just say patriotic, because all of them were patriotic guys. But I'm saying that he was a more openly rebellious.
He was a more courageous.
Yes. And when Ahidjo wanted to dismantle our mobile wing, remember the issue?
I'm coming to that point.
Okay.
I think P want to say something.
He was not only courageous, but he was very, very straightforward. He didn't hide his mouth to say anything. I mean, that is why I don't get rid of him. And you see, the whole thing is repeating itself today. If any Southern Cameroonian, either working with their government or not, if you are very straightforward, if you say the truth openly, they will do all to get you under their feet. And that is what happened to the ANC and to the AAC, the All Anglophone Conference. That is why they had to get rid of Dua then, because he was
the smoker outside. The smoker outside.
Okay. So we are talking now. Foncha was the first government under to lead Southern Cameroon in the new setup. We have just left Nigeria behind. We are now dealing with the Francophones and the Maquisards and all those difficult times. And then the Prime Minister of the UN had died, leaving many openings that were not clarified. So we had a makeshift situation to explain things. And when we see there was this letter from the then French consul in Buea, who had written to his minister back in Paris in 1962, if I'm not mistaken, saying that Southern Cameroon, the influence of French among the Southern Cameroon population is so minimal. It will need 2 generations for that to change. So if you can look at those things, you realize that they had already started looking at ways of how to undermine Foncha's government and our system at all. So when a person like Jua won, it was for them really a red signal to show that if we don't stop these guys now, we are heading it for a disaster from their own point of view. That's why they had to do the push, the coup d'etat, to remove Jua from and replace him with Muna.
Yes, Muna.
Uncle P.
Yes. And you see, that is the reason why the first bilingual schools were built in our territory, not in their own territory. The first bilingual schools were built in our own territory, not in their territory. And even right up to date, we have most bilingual schools in our territory than in their territory. Because they knew that when they do that, we shall be forced to speak the language. I remember what I told you in Berlin. I went into singing because
I'm getting the same problem Bob got back in days.
Change something in my village.
Uncle P, we will have to stop you. I will have to stop you for a moment. Uncle P,
because
Uncle P.
See how deep this that has gone. I
Uncle P.
A mama who is come back from the farm.
Uncle P. Okay. PK. Uncle P, try to rectify your system because we're in Germany and that system is working. I know that. PK.
Yep.
You know the relationship between the mobile wing and the gendarmes and police of the Cameroon. Yeah, Uncle P, the problem is that your own feedback is sleeping or slalling. That's why we have to stop you. PK.
Yeah.
Uncle P, just please take care of that. Take care of that while we continue with our country. Watching us now. PK, you remember, we had our mobile wings, which was a very effective police force. And it was also paramilitary in one. Meaning that it was a combination of what they call the gendarmes in the Francophone Cameroon and their own police force. Now, why were they so keen on destroying it?
Interruption. Who was talking? Okay, can I talk?
El Republic is what drama.
Okay.
Continue, please.
Okay. Dr. Ngasada has a very good question. And I think it has been directed to a person who's a product of a person who was the head of the mobile wing. My father was the head of the mobile wing. So I know this story very well. I grew up in it. I grew up with it. See, so the thing is, the mobile wing actually, the problem that led to the dismantling of the mobile wing was one incident that occurred in Boya.
I'm fine.
Can I continue?
You can just go on. I'm watching. I'm simply surprised, just like you.
This incident in Boya, it was. There was some rumor. Let me just put it casual. There was some rumor that Jua had actually met Nanga and some few southern Cameroon rich guys to actually put money together to get some arms shipment. And a certain southern Cameroonian custom in Victoria sold the idea to intelligence to La République. So it went to Aiju that they were actually acquiring arms. Jua was acquiring arms. So what Aiju did was to find out who was actually the head of that issue. And it became that it was one Commissioner Ndifo. So Aiju had actually ordered his guys to arrest Ndifo from Boya and bring him to Yaoundé. And because of that, when Jua heard that, Jua didn't like it at all because Jua was the prime minister of Southern Cameroon or West Cameroon, and actually he didn't know about that. He just heard there was a communique that this guy was to be arrested. So what did Jua do? Jua actually called a war cabinet and told Commissioner Ntune, Commissioner Shintum, and Agbotabi Paxson. His son is in Berlin. They call him Ephraim. We grew up together because the father and my father also ended up in womb working together. Agbotabi Paxson and Shintum were the ones who were set to actually protect Ndifo from the La République gendarmeries. So Jua said Ndifo is not going anywhere. he's going to remain right here in Boya. But inside all that, there was also a black leg, Commissioner Nukuna, actually, who had done his own little things behind. Let me not go to that detail. So the problem is when now Ahijo now sent the gendarmes by force to go and collect D4, the mobile wing led by Mr. Shintum and Agbotabi Paxson actually outflanked them. And the gendarmes were disarmed. There was no bloodshed. They were disarmed by the mobile wing and taken back to their barracks. So that actually sent a wake-up call to Ahijo, who realized that so long as he has the mobile wing in place, it will be very difficult for him to go through the system. I know this story very well because I used to live with Mr. Shintum in Boya when I was young. My father was in Bakassi then, I remember very well. So the thing is, Ahijo now systematically decide to destroy the mobile wing. And that was also what led to the dismissal of Jua replacement by Muna.
No, I don't understand. Had Ahijo the right to dismiss?
Ahijo was the president. Ahijo was the president.
Nevertheless,
what he did was actually unconstitutional. It was unconstitutional, and that's where our beef as Saudi Cameroonians come in, because that's why we say Muna sold, Muna did this, because Muna actually complotted with Ahijo to take Jua's place, and that's where the whole thing actually got sour. When people talk about F.R.A did his own part, but Muna actually gave the coup de grace, as they call it.
Wonderful. I still find it very difficult to understand because there was a parliament in Boya.
Yeah.
Yes or no? There was a parliament.
There was.
And that parliament was the one that put in place a prime minister.
Yeah.
Or was it not so?
Yeah.
Now, somebody comes in, calling himself Ahijo, and takes away that prime minister who had been put in place by the parliament. What did the parliament do?
You see, everything was all some kind of intimidation. Think about it. The 30th of September, when...
Pique, wait on. Let this technical thing. There's somebody trying to do a hitch. Let him do his nonsense. When he's through, he'll start again and say repeat it. We want to hear that. Okay, try again, please.
Okay. Let's say something. On the 30th of September...
It's still giving us some technical problems. I don't know if from the studio or where it is coming from.
I don't know. I don't have any problem. I can listen to you very well.
No, it's still coming. Studio, can you come into our aid? Maybe Uncle P, have you got your dengue? Uncle P? You see, my guys are not even hearing what I'm saying. Uncle P, are you there?
Yeah, it's off.
No, there's something wrong. Okay, Pique, just try again to see if it will work.
Okay, let's just go back quick to...
Very good.
30th September 1961, when Malcolm Milner and all the other UN officials actually lowered down the Union Jack. And one day later, 1st of October 1961, Southern Cameroon was getting its independence. That same day, the gendarmes walked in. Those were all planned action. The gendarmes walk in just as much as they're walking to Manu today. The same way. They were deployed from their centers in East Cameroon to West Cameroon, or from La Republique to British Southern Cameroons. You see, so the thing is, the problem somehow is there was a lot of arm twisting, and that is where our politicians failed us, because it seemed as if they had too much in-house fighting and they let a lot of things being done by Ahijo because they were independently looking for favors. So people like Jua, who never wanted any favor from Ahijo, became a problem. And that's why Ahijo had to do with him. Do away with him so that the coast could be clear. That is, I think, the most important aspect that we have to look into all these issues.
Yeah. So it means that the roots had been, or the foundation of our West Cameroonian politics had been poorly laid.
poorly laid because we never complain. And I think we grew up with that same attitude. Dr. Ngasa, don't forget, even in our own setting today, it's just now maybe the past 1.5 years that the Anglophones have become very, very aggressive, that they don't allow this shit anymore. Even when you meet a group of Francophones, most of the time we tend to, unknowingly, unconsciously take a subordinate level. It's something
No. I don't think it is really true. I will challenge that, PK, because you know me very well from Sacred Heart.
Dr. Ngasa, you're talking about yourself. I'm not talking about an individual. I'm talking about the collective.
Yeah, you are very, very right. No, I have to.
That's why
you are very right.
When you meet 9 Anglophones discussing and a Francophone comes in, they automatically switch to French. That's subordination.
That's true.
That's true. Unconscious subordination. Out of capability.
That's true.
When you meet a German, you guys are speaking in English. The German, as soon as he meets you, he tries to speak in English with you.
Yes.
It's after when you try to speak in German to him. But with the Francophone, Anglophone, Cameroon connection, it has always been the other way around. It's a minority Francophone that will always rule the majority Anglophone in any little setting. It's deep in the society.
Gone are the days. Gone.
Yeah. That's why I said maybe for the past 1.5 years, things have changed.
Amba is a land. That's Francophone rubbish. Yeah, it don't stop. Because we educate with people then. They know their history. Maybe they know how to come out. And especially maybe they know their value. Because Amazonian, we don't suffer. Despite all the odds, we still there. How come we don't get with the F.R.A? Come. French, how they call that one? Nigeria. La Republic. No, we don't see who come say we'll go in. How could be? Are you still there?
Do we still have airtime?
What do we? Yeah, we have time. I want Uncle P to play a song. That's why I called. So let me see what is going on. Who are hearing us well?
Do we still have airtime?
We have airtime. I want Uncle P to play a song. That's why I called. Uncle P, are you there? So let me see what is going on. Who are hearing us well? We have airtime. Okay, we cannot get Uncle P. Okay, PK, please, let's just continue. Let's continue, and you tell us a little bit about the situation in Boya, because what I haven't really understood. Maybe it's because I was still a very young child. I was born in 1966, so I was born just 1 year before Joa was taken out of office. So when I was born, there was this fight going on. I was born in Victoria. So just about 30 kilometers away. How many kilometers from Boya? So while I was in Limbe trying to breathe my first gaps of air, there was this war going already on in Boya that is affecting my life today.
Yeah. That was 1966.
So what was happening in Boya then? In 1966?
It happened in 1966. It happened in 1966. So what I'm saying is, like, the tension had already started mounting because Ahijo, they had bad faith. You have to understand that. So they were looking for all types of ways to gauge the situation and know exactly how to take over. They couldn't do it directly. They could do it in some very cunning way. So that's another topic. We can start to talk about, like, what now. We can now link that one up to what Uncle P talked about, the Umbe. So you start to touch the political structure, you touch the technical structures, you start to manipulate the economical structures to make the people very dependent on you guys before now you do your thing. So that problem started from day one in Fumban. It just grew with time, little by little. And when the mobile wing actually was dismantled, then there was no command line anymore that could actually protect any civility in southern Cameroon or West Cameroon. You see, so that is the defense. When the defense structure is missing, then things become really very, very different. We have that same problem now occurring. You see what's going on in southern Cameroon, or rather in Ambazonia today. We actually hear about defense groups, and we're still very confused in the matrix of defense groups, because we don't have any regular defense groups. We are still hoping for our brothers and sisters who are in the regular La Republique Army, which you don't even hear about them. Everything you hear about them is just some kind of suspicion. You see, so the problem is something which should have been actually, but to try actually were earmarked and eliminated. Yes, so
I can imagine.
Yes, today we are actually just living consequences of those the ignorant disenfranchisement of our rights, of our political rights and everything. So today we are learning what will happen. A lot of people never knew this. And don't even think all these the francophones don't even know that. It's only our brokers know these things.
Yeah, that's why we have Amba History, because we think that with Amba History, this will be the best way to get our people well lined up, because it is important that each and every Amazonian understands his or her history.
Yeah.
Because if you know who you are, know where you are, and if you know where you're going to, especially where you're coming from, that's when you'll be able to stand and defend something.
Yeah.
If you grow up not knowing it, don't have it without an identity, anybody can come in and fake one for you.
Yeah.
But if you are conscious of yours, we've been living in Germany now in Europe now for 32 years.
Yeah.
Long time Ambaland.
Yeah.
But nothing has changed us from being Amazonians.
Yeah.
They've given us all types of names. I remember when I was in Waikele, they used to give us money called FC. Every month of the end of the month, go and collect 30,000 francs. I don't know what for, but I used to enjoy it. But to get that money, they don't come to collect it. Students, can you imagine? These are people who are supposed to be educated. We'll go and line up, and then from around 4 a.m., queue up, waiting to start collecting money at about 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And then by the time it's 9 a.m., there had been at least 7, 8 different types of fights.
Yeah.
Because people are coming trying 2 kilometers long, and then you come at about 8:30. You feel that you are strong enough, you just march straight onto the head of the line, and then you fight your way into it, and then you take over.
Yeah,
that was the life. Survival of the fittest.
That's a good way to describe La Republique, because they don't really respect the queue and anything. Have you ever gone to collect money in any agency in Douala? You'll be very surprised.
Terrible. We want to change this. We know that we are capable of. Uncle P, are you thinking or are you just murmuring? Now he's dumbfounded. He doesn't even want to murmur. PK.
Yes, man.
I think we've got 5 minutes to go. I have not heard from our technician. Let me see if I can get something from him. Let me find out from our technician how many minutes we've still got. So that I'll be able to tell you how many minutes. Let me ask him. Let me just ask him, guys. Just hold on. Okay. Yeah, PK, tell us a little bit about the times when Jua must have gone through hell.
Yeah, Jua was disenfranchised, and it became just a kind of historical subject, and nobody cared about him. The Fonchas, the Munas didn't bother about him when he went out. So we will say they all collectively sold him. You see, so Jua left politics very early, much earlier than all of them, and he was the strongest, most able. Even for Georgie Dinka will tell you that. You see, so
Uncle P is ready. Yeah. Look at what Uncle P is doing.
Yes.
Uncle P is on.
Like I say.
Yeah, Uncle P. Come on, Uncle P.
I want to play one song now. That song, the same sad story. We'll see how common discussion, common dialogue will solve a problem where you don't take make one day. They not get nowhere ahead. That's the title now. Same that story. Same sad story. Same sad story. Same sad story. Mama. Same sad story. If you listen to the north, you listen to the south. If you listen to the east, yeah, to the west. You got those children crying, those children crying, those children crying, mama, those children crying, those children suffering, those children suffering, those children suffering, mama, those children suffering. Same sad story, same sad story, same sad story, mama. Same sad story. Mama killing papa, papa killing mama daddy. School boys killing school teacher, school girls killing school teacher. We keep killing one another for things we could talk about. We keep killing one another for no good reason. Same sad story. Same sad story. Same sad story, mama. Same sad story. If you look up north, you look down south, you look to the east, yeah, or up to the west. Oh, God's children dying, God's children crying, God's children dying, mama, God's children dying. It might be a first-world country, or a third-world country. It might be a democratic. Then you see someone say, same sad story, same sad story, mama, same sad story. Yes.
Same sad story. Uncle Bill, I promise you that story, that was that talk fine story, smarter. Was that talk sweet, sweet story? Sweet, sweet story. That time will come. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we don't get signal, so we get there just like we come to the we close. We can't close now. I want to ask PK.
Yeah.
Yeah. You hear me now? Let's. I think you mentioned something there very seriously about the intrigues that were happening around that led to the dismissal of Joa, because that's a moment that we really have to go into details, because that's where the real concrete walls, the foundations were laid for that thing that took place in 1972.
Yeah,
that where Jermaine Bia Ahijo gonna birthday present. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So we're winding it out to come to an end. I want you to tell our listeners, our viewers, and our brothers and sisters all over the world who took their time to watch us, to listen to us, that you were happy to be with you today.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm very happy to be hosted by you, Dr. Ngasa, and brother Mr. P. The thing is that the history is so complicated and so intricate that sometimes we actually deviate from the chronology, but then it's also part of the history, as I said, the unwritten history. So once in a while, I think we have to make it, as you said before, to add some spice and sugar and juice to it. We have to also go a little bit out of line and bring out personal experiences, those things that actually matter. Because so long as we have a manipulated history, it means anything that actually comes from our parents' experience, it can be also history. Because if the historians had the opportunities to meet them and get the first-hand information from them, then they could have actually developed a more reliable history. So we still have a lot of things to do, because like if I go to my father's archives, I see a lot of original pictures of all these incidents. And I bet you, Dr. Ngasa, if you go to your father's archives, you're going to see another group of original photos. Everybody, we just need to start to put those things together and build back the history through personal accounts, photographs, and all those things. And what about the scholars go out there and get us archives?
You're welcome, PK. I think that's a very, very nice one. Uncle P, I hope the technical connections allow you to say something to our viewers before we call it up today. Call it off for today. Uncle P. Uncle P, maybe he is going through the other line and I'm not hearing him. Let me see if I can get him on
personal accounts. The photographs.
No, Uncle P is not going through.
And what about
Uncle P? I'm not getting you. We have to call it off because the SCBC is telling us that our time is up. We want to thank all our viewers. We want to thank everyone in the name of our team. Uncle P, don't worry, you'll be back. You'll be back. You are my hook, like a fish on a hook now. You cannot go away. I've got you. You'll be part of this show in the future. And I want to invite other Amba learners who, in one way, wish to contribute to Amba History. Please get in touch with us. We are on Facebook. We are on. You can get in touch with me in many, many ways, and PK2 and SCBC. If you want to contribute, if you want to do it on a video, you can also be part of this live issue. All you need to do is to have a computer somewhere with a camera and a Chrome installed. Chrome. How do you call it again? Chrome installed on your computer, and then you will be able. We will send you the link, and then you can also come on live. So please, anybody who is interested, who has something to say, who wishes to tell us something, or just to tell us that you adore us, you like our program, we'll be grateful to listen to you live. So thank you very much, and it was Amba History.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah,